Where do I buy groceries? Where do my kids go to school? Today, we're going to talk about everything you need to know when considering making a move to Harbor Springs, Michigan. Hi, I'm Gino D'Angelo, a local Northern Michigan real estate agent specializing in helping you relocate to Harbor Springs. One of the most common questions I get asked anytime somebody's considering making a move to Harbor Springs is, where do I buy groceries? And there are a couple of great options. First, there is the Harbor Springs Market, which is downtown Harbor Springs. They have the friendliest staff, great deli, and everything you're going to need for your day-to-day use. Another great option to shop in Harbor Springs is 𝐍𝐸 Sands. 𝐍𝐸 Sands is one of my personal favorite grocery stores in Northern Michigan, and while from the road it looks very small, it has a ton of great options inside. If you want steak, seafood, beer, wine, or spirits to entertain, or even just a quick lunch during the week, 𝐍𝐸 Sands is a must stop. Every time somebody moves here, I tell them the first meal you cook in your house, you should go to 𝐍𝐸 Sands because they have the best groceries in the area. And also just a short drive away in Harbor Springs, there's the D&W Market, which is a Spartan store if you're familiar with those. That just means they're a giant grocery store that literally has everything you could possibly ask for at great prices. And if you're from the Midwest, you're probably partial to Meijer grocery stores. There is a Meijer about 15 minutes from the heart of Harbor Springs, which has everything that Meijer is known for. Another question is, where do my kids go to school? Harbor Springs has 3 elementary schools, 1 middle school, and 1 high school. They even have 1 private school option. The student to teacher ratio is 12-to-1 on average throughout the schools, which is less than the state average, giving your student more attention from their teachers. Speaking of teachers, 97% of Harbor Springs teachers have more than 3 years experience, meaning the teachers in these schools are very experienced and are great at educating your children. Also, one thing that I think is great about Harbor Springs is the extracurricular. They have so many options for kids, which allows them to expand their horizons and find out what they are truly interested in outside of their day-to-day studies. Some of the extracurriculars include band, performing arts, all the sports, and even a video editing class. Who knows, maybe someday somebody from Harbor Springs schools will edit these videos. Although Harbor Springs is a small community, there is a ton to do. Starting in the summertime, there is the great downtown and the waterfront. They have a great community theater called the Lyric, which is actually run by volunteers and has some throwback movies as well as new releases. Also, Harbor Springs has a great bowling alley with an arcade and laser tag, which I love to play with my son. Also, you're going to want to check out Pine Hill Farm, which is actually in the beginning of the Tunnel of Trees. Pine Hill Farm has a bunch of cool stuff like pumpkin bowling, hay rides, and even a place where you can smash pumpkins or throw them in a basketball hoop. I've taken my son there a number of times every year and he absolutely loves it. And an insider tip, make sure you get the pizza. Now you're probably wondering, how expensive is Harbor Springs? And the short answer is expensive. Harbor Springs is one of the most expensive areas in Northern Michigan, and for good reason. Since the beginning of time, it has been sought after for wealthy vacationers looking for a great place to summer. And in the last few years, with growth in technology, people working from home, some more people have chosen Harbor Springs as their year-round residence. With the great summer activities as well as the winter skiing, it's really an idyllic place to live. And if you can work from anywhere, why wouldn't you choose Harbor Springs? But let's get into the numbers. As of this recording, there is a property for as low as $449,000 and as high as $5.3 million. And I'll tell you, that's a pretty common range. You can find houses in the low 400,000s, low 500,000s, and there are much more expensive houses that range anywhere from $5 to $10 to $15 million on occasion. If you're looking for a condo, there are actually 15 condos on the market right now, and those range from about $200,000 to about $600,000. Now, I've had people say both. Harbor Springs is incredibly expensive, and I've also had some people say Harbor Springs is incredibly affordable when compared to other areas around the country. If you're used to the price of what Harbor Springs used to be, you're going to think that it is very expensive considering what it used to be 4 or 5 years ago. If you compare Harbor Springs to other safe resort communities around the country, which, let's face it, a lot of people are moving here from around the country, it is still an affordable option. I've had people from Texas and California both say that they still feel that Harbor Springs is undervalued, even with the increase in price we've seen over the last couple of years. If you've ever spent any time in Harbor Springs, it doesn't take long for you to understand why it is so coveted and why so many people want to live there. It truly is a community that looks like it came out of a Hallmark movie and is a quintessential summer resort town. If after watching this, you'd like to learn more about what it's like to live in Harbor Springs or anything else Northern Michigan real estate related, please reach out to me directly at 231-487-6141. And for more videos like this, please subscribe to my channel.